How can I turn a form response directly into a calendar event? Hi, this is Eliot from Workload. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get new daily tutorials. In this video, we'll be creating a workflow that starts with a new form response in Google Forms. Then we'll be reformatting the data using the AI Wizard by Workload before finally creating a detailed event in Google Calendar. All right, let's build a workflow. So we're going to start here at the workload editor. We're going to give our workflow a title. This is going to be Google Forms to AI Wizard to Calendar. And I'm going to pick a trigger by clicking in my trigger box. My trigger app is going to be in Google Forms. And the event is going to be a new form response. I want to make sure I'm connected to Google. If you have any issues connecting to the apps we use in this workflow, check out the blog in the description of this video. With our Google apps, you also want to make sure that you've shared the right files with Workload. So I'm going to be using this find a time form, and that's already shared with Workload. So I can go ahead and continue here. I can select that form, click continue, and then test the trigger. So we have some form responses. And I can go ahead and use these to build our workflow. There's a few steps I have to take in order to get this data ready to import into Google Calendar. If I look at the raw console here, the answers to our form questions are inside of this answers array, and they're stored in the value field. So I want to pull out all of those value responses outside of the array. And that's going to be our first step. So we'll click continue here. We're going to go to our tools. We're going to select the AI Wizard by Workload. We're going to prompt your data. The input data is going to be this answers array. And I'm going to paste in a prompt. Find the value fields and pull them out to create a new object. So we have a success. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next step, which is going to be converting this date and time into the form that Google Calendar needs to create the detailed event. So we'll click continue. We're going to add a step. This is going to be the AI Wizard by Workload again. Prompt your data. This time we're going to pull the data from that step 2. We want to scroll down and use the values that are inside the workload response. So right here, value 2 is the date and time. I'm going to say convert from specific time into ISO format. Click continue, and we'll test this action. So now we have that date converted into the proper time. Now it's going to be the start time of our event. We also are going to need an end time. So these are just going to be little short meetings that we have scheduled from our form response. So I'm going to make an end time that's 30 minutes later than the start time. So again, click continue, add a step, back to our tools, AI Wizard by Workload, prompt your data. The input data now is going to be from that third step, and it's going to be the converted date time. I'm going to say add 30 minutes to this time. Click continue and test this action. So now we have a time that's 30 minutes later than our start time. So whatever the start time was, this will convert to 30 minutes later from that time. Click continue, and now we're ready to actually put this into Google Calendar. So we're going to find Google Calendar. We're going to create a detailed event. We're going to make sure we're connected to Google Calendar. The title of the event is going to come from step 2. Down here at the bottom in the workload response is promotion. The description from that same step 2 is, I know I've only worked for 3 months, but I think I should be promoted to manager. We don't have a location, so I can leave that blank. The start time is that step 3 time. The converted date time. The end time is that step 4, where it says new time. We can pick a color for these meetings. Every time a meeting is created from this specific form, we can make that a grape event. Attendees are going to come from that original form response. So the person who submitted the form is then going to get a notification that this event has been created. And we can leave the rest of these fields blank except for the calendar ID. So I need to tell Google which of my calendars I want to put this event on. So I'm going to just use my test calendar for this example, but maybe you would create a calendar that was just for these 30-minute check-in meetings. I'll click continue and then test the action. And we have a success. So I can click continue. I can look over a Google Calendar and I can see this promotion event was just added in Grape. And it has the correct date and time with the ending 30 minutes after the start. It has our title that came from the form, our description from the form. The person who filled out the form has already been added as an attendee. So it looks like our workflow was set up correctly. We can come back over to the workload editor. We can check and make sure there's a green dot in all of our steps. And then we can activate our workflow. And now whenever there's a new form response to that specific form, the AI Wizard by Workload will do all the work of reformatting the data so that it can automatically create a detailed event in Google Calendar. And that's how you can use Workload to build a workflow that automatically creates calendar events when you have a new form response. Please join the Workload community by commenting on this post any questions you might have or suggestions for future videos. You should also like this video and click here to subscribe to our channel. Or click here to get more content from Workload about how to make your business practices more smoothly. And I'll see you next time.